Hello. So I made a video and about how to know when you're hungry or like when to eat. And then I got a comment which I'm very passionate about. So, what's my opinion about mindful versus mindless eating? Because there's a lot of people in recovery or in this community that say that to overcome extreme hunger, we should be mindful about our eating and always plate our food and stay focused during a meal. I'm so confused. Let me tell you one thing. Always plating your food, never being distracted, but only focusing on your food, those are two, in my opinion, disordered behaviors that are not good in recovery. I mean, you can do that if you prefer, but I don't think that there's. Wait, I want to improve the lighting. So, there's no thing. I mean, there's mindless eating, yes, but it. I don't know. I don't even know how to say it, but you should be okay with mindless eating because if you think like if you always need to be mindful about eating and you're scared about mindless eating because there's a possibility of you eating too much, that essentially means that you're scared of gaining weight, and that's exactly what you should stop. Like, in the end, we are all in the recovery. You're all really scared of gaining weight. That's your main goal, like to lose this fear of gaining weight and to be big. um so actually I would encourage you to eat mindlessly, and that sounds really weird, but in my opinion that's kind of like the thing. If you keep on having rules around the way you eat, that means you're still in an ED or in some disordered behaviors. You need to be okay with eating your food in any single way there's out there, um, because that means you're actually okay with who you are, you're not scared anymore. But if you need the rule of always having to sit down at the table, eating your food out of a wide plate, because colored, I know all about these theories, like colored plates could make you eat more because it looks like less food and blah blah blah, where you should eat out of small plates with a small dish. No, stop all of these behaviors because they're really disordered, and you would only behave in that way or in such a way because you're scared of eating too much, which means you're scared of gaining weight. So please do not listen to these people. Now, how does it look like for me? How did I behave in recovery? I was really not following any of these mindful eating rules. At some point, yes, in my quasi recovery, but then later on, definitely not. And now also, when I'm on my way to somewhere, I'm just gonna go and snack out of something, or um, I will eat out of the pot a lot. And yes, there's a high possibility that you will eat a lot out of a pot. Like, it's probably more possible that you will eat more if you eat out of a pot or out of the cupboard, but that's not a bad thing. And you need to let go of being scared of eating a lot or eating a certain type of food. So, honestly, because you're gonna spend a lot of time eating in recovery, I always watched YouTube or Netflix or any show or TikTok during my meals. I told you about my skinny crush, like very, very skinny, and also he never eats without distraction. And there's just, I don't think, honestly, yes, I mean, it's something good if you want to be mindful about your life, but in the in recovery you really need to let go of all of these kind of rules and routines, because they will just keep the thought of being like, it will just keep the fear of weight gain in your brain. So that's why I'm very passionate about this, because you really, really don't need to follow these stupid rules about mindfulness. Do the opposite, really. Distract yourself, eat out of whatever you want, eat out of your hand. When I eat, I'm gonna show you. Okay, it's empty, wait. So, if I snack, I snack straight out of like, I would never have the idea to put chocolate squares onto a plate, or I don't know, like, just snack however it's convenient for you, because in the end, also, if you try to eat mindfully, you're gonna have a huge focus on food, because eating mindfully will take a lot of time and a lot of focus, and just eating out of the cupboard, out of the pot, whatever is convenient, eating on your way home, like a sandwich in the train, whatever. It's just so much more convenient, and there's nothing bad to it. I understand, like, for example, if you want to spend time with your family, to sit down in the evening and eating out of a plate, of course, but you don't have to always follow this rule of doing this or that. Yes, it's something good, but it's not, like, you should be okay with eating however way there is. Yeah, again, because in the end, it's about letting go of these routines and rules revolving around food. You should just be so relaxed and just not give a shit, like, however you eat. And all of these people, in my opinion, that are so mindful about the way they eat, or also get overly excited about their food, in my opinion, they're not recovered, because they have still a huge food focus. Because it's just not understandable for me. It was even hard to film these videos, what I eat in a day, because I just don't really care too much about food anymore. I mean, of course, I like eating, but I don't look forward to my next meal all day long. No, actually, I'm just living, and sometimes I'm hungry, so then I eat. And yeah, the rest of the time I'm thinking about, I don't know, my love life or my studies, but not about food, because food is just there to give me energy, and yes, it tastes good, but it's not what concerns me. And so, please do me a favor and do not listen to these people. If you check out other recovery channels like Tabitha Farrar, I will always recommend her, because she helped me to recover, because she also doesn't give a shit about any mindfulness stuff and routines. She also says, like, really focusing too much on food is just a sign of you not having recovered. So yeah, that's what I have to say about it. Let me check if I have answered the whole question. Yeah, to overcome extreme hunger, we should be mindful about our eating. That literally does make zero sense for me, because extreme hunger, the only way to overcome it is by eating huge amounts of food until you're actually satisfied. And if you try to eat mindfully, it's much more complicated to eat huge amounts of food. Because for me, when I had extreme hunger, what I would do was spooning Nutella. I would eat a lot of chocolate bars. I would eat a lot of cheese, and like pasta with a lot of cheese, and just things that were really, and in a way that was not at all mindful. I would just have it in my room and just grab it and snack while watching Zoom lessons and lectures. So, no. Overcoming extreme hunger is by doing the opposite of being mindful. I mean, the only way you have to be mindful is by listening to what you're craving, but don't try to have certain weird rules around how you eat food. And again, I mean, for example, my mom, she's exactly the type of person who's like, chill, you need to be mindful. You need to do 30 bites. Like you need to bite 20 times each time you have something in your mouth. And she will forever struggle with food, I know it. Like she generally eats normally, but then sometimes she has a little bit of binges. And she follows all of these mindfulness things. So I really do not believe in any of that, because in the end, recovery really is about giving a shit what trends say, but truly listening to what your biology says. So just eating and trusting that despite any circumstance, despite how you eat it, your body will tell you when it's enough. So sometimes I will eat out of the pot and I'm just gonna have enough. And it would have been the same amount whether I would eat out of a plate or out of a pot, because I literally just trust and my body just knows when it's enough, you know? So it really doesn't make a difference how you eat it. It's just that at some point you will be very in tune with your body about the amounts of food. And again, in recovery, it's not a normal amount of food. So it doesn't make sense anyway, because you will have to eat a lot of food, and trying to be mindful about it is just going to make it much more complicated. So yeah, I hope that could help. Bye.